And now we change the block. We have seen the actions implemented at European level, but also we want to show you examples that countries and public authorities in different member states also they have instruments available to support place-based rural innovation ecosystem. And in that sense, we would like to start with Spain. I'd like to welcome Maria Martos. She coordinates the network of Centers for Territorial Innovation. These are centers being supported by the Ministry for Ecological Transition and Demographic Challenge of Spain. Marta, I hope you are you around?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, very good.
Can you hear me? Yes.
We hear you very well. Thank you very much. Will you share your slides?
Yes, I'm going to try it here. Okay. I'm trying. Okay, can you see it?
Yes, can you
yes.
make it full screen?
Yes, okay.
Let's see if it works.
Okay, here you are. Thank you, Enrique. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here. And now I'm going to share with you some information about territorial innovation centers in rural areas in Spain. The territorial innovation centers, or CITs, are local and innovative response to the population and socio-economic decline promoted by the Ministry for the Ecological Transition and the Demographic Challenge. They apply a local approach to foster collaboration among stakeholders and generate solutions. Their innovative nature lies in creating territorial transformation labs and promoting new ways of organizing, producing, and cooperating. Maybe you are wondering what are the CIPs. I'm going to try to be clear. As I said before, they are collaborative ecosystems operating at the provincial or multi-provincial level. The objectives are designs and implement projects tailored to each territory. And at the same time, connect resources, knowledge, and experience generating territorial action flows. And yes, at the same time, fosters synergies among ministries and national, regional, provincial, and local government. And finally, promote collaborative governance and public-private partnership. The idea is like something, let's commit to a new development model that places people and territories at the heart of innovation. How is our model? CIT is established through a cooperation agreement between the Ministry for the Ecological Transition and Demographic Challenge and the corresponding provincial council. On the one hand, the Ministry provides the strategic framework, coordinates national departments, and leads the central node of CIT network. That is my work here. The provincial council owns and coordinates the centers, adapting strategies to local specificities and involving stakeholders. As you can see, CITs offer comprehensive services to support innovation projects from design to impact evaluation. On the one hand, the Ministry for the Ecological Transition and Demographic Challenge, particularly the Secretariat General for the Demographic Challenge, offer activity coordination support, entrepreneurship development, training, advisory, business management, and try to promote of interministerial communication to mainstream the demographic challenge across policies. On the other hand, provincial councils provide physical spaces and technical resources, recruit or assign personnel, organize events, and prepare annual activities and evaluation reports. Yes. The CIT network collaborates with all centrals under a coordinating node, as I said before, optimizing synergies and resources. Currently, there are 21 CITs covering over 40% of Spanish provinces. This is more or less the timeline. In 2022 took place the model definition based on the 130 measure plan for the demographic challenge, steering group creation basically. 2023, we were working mapping challenges and opportunities, alliance building. 2024, CIT's model gains legitimacy in political agenda. And 2024, strengthen the ecosystem and the CTI network through initiative connection, methodology, validation, and collaborative network. What is the role of the coordinating node? Okay, first, methodological support for the design, implementation, and monitoring of transformative initiatives. Second, facilitation of access to funding tools. Third, training and skill development. Fourth, creation of a public-private collaborative network. And finally, fifth, process digitalization to enhance communication and operational efficiency. I would like to share a case study, one examples about one CIT. In this case, Teruel, because exemplify a local innovation hub that adapt the CIT model to the unique characteristics of the northeastern Spanish province. The cooperation agreement signed on August 23rd, 2022. But the most interesting point is that it's a distinctive model, including, in addition to the ministry and the provincial council of Teruel, a consortium of 5 partners representing civil society. You can see in the slide, COE Teruel represents the local business fabric. ADI advocate for the inclusion of people with intellectual disabilities. Apadrino un Olivo is a non-profit promoting rural development by restoring abandoned olive groves. ADPT is like a network of local action groups across Teruel. And finally, the fifth partner is are local social organization, particularly two Sustainable Restaurant Foundation and a federation of neighborhood and cultural associations of Teruel. I'm going to get the last slide. Just to mention some of the most remarkable innovation lines and projects of Teruel CTI. First, support innovative strategies, design local action, and facilitate project funding access. One example is Rehabitando, the second edition that promotes renovating vacant rural homes. The second line strengthen social capital, build trust, and connect local actors. For example, it's called Los 100 de Teruel, a rural innovation forum of 100 citizens to debate and propose collective solutions. The third line tries to develop local capacities, shares knowledge and peer learning. For example, Cafés de Establo, that is informal discussion spaces for entrepreneurs and residents. And finally, try to reinforce territorial and multi-level synergies in order to facilitate interministerial collaboration and partnership. And the example I want to share with you is a joint project with CIT Cuenca, awarded 297,000 under the third call for territorial projects for the demographic challenge, and it focuses on collaborative ecosystem in general renewal in sectors like agriculture and craft through training and entrepreneurship. To sum up very quickly, CIT are catalysts for building collaborative ecosystem that drive territorial innovation from within a public administration, aiming to empower local actors as agents of rural transformation. So let's build the futures together, connecting, innovating, and transforming our territories by putting people at the center of every action. Thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Maria, for providing us a snapshot of the interesting work you're doing in Spain. I have to say this is an initiative that is sparking quite a lot of interest across rural areas in Spain and creating very, very good dynamics. So thank you for sharing. We understand most of you, some of you are not public authorities, but we still believe it's important as well for you to receive examples of models that are working in other countries, because even some of you might advocate or get inspiration from these models to advocate to your authorities to learn as well from this example. So don't take it just as a learning from yourself, but perhaps something that might get inspiration or you can get inspired from and inform your authorities to improve. Now again, we are running extremely bad in time. So I don't want to put pressure because it's not fair for the next one. So we will probably have to rearrange a little bit the timing afterwards. But I'd like to welcome now Rita from the Ministry for Agriculture, Regions and Tourism of Austria, who will provide, I would say, a smart way of how they use EAP Agri, and I like to call it, in your case, EAP Rural, because it's going a bit beyond the support or the traditional support from many member states on the use of EAP for the agri-food sector. And hopefully you exemplify that there are other opportunities there in other sectors to use this instrument from the Common Agricultural Policy. So Rita, thank you very much, and the floor now is yours.
Thanks a lot, Enrique. I just have to find my presentation.
Let's wait. I think it's still loading. Now we can see full screen.
You can see it. Okay, that's great. So good morning, everybody. My name is Rita Trattnigg. I'm working in the Austrian Federal Ministry. We have quite a lot of responsibilities. So agriculture, forestry, now new climate and environmental protection. We have the name of the regions also in the ministry, name and water management. And I would like to present our new CAP intervention called Rural Innovation Systems to you, which is operating within the European Innovation Partnership. So some facts and figures. Yeah, as I said, we are operating in the CAP scheme in the actual period of time, 2023 to 2027. We have a budget of 14 million euros. This is a co-financed intervention, so European Union, Austria, and also our 9, or let's say, except Vienna, so it's 8 provinces, because it's for rural areas only. Our co-financing, we have 100% of funding and intensity, except for investments, we have a lower rate. So our idea was to design this new intervention in the CAP in addition to the EP Agri. So, and as an add-on, let's say to LEADER, we have 210 euros in LEADER for 83 LEADER regions. It's not only for LEADER, but to a more systematically concentrate on innovation, on rural innovations. So the intervention should ideally complement each other. That was our idea. So we tried to, and that was also, of course, the wish of the European Commission and the recommendation to put it as a non-agriculture intervention under the EIP scheme. So we are working with the principles and working methods like the multi-actor approach and so on. So we are using this one, and we are also reporting to the project database and so on. So we have the Smart Village approach as an integral part of our intervention. So we need strong local communities within our regions, because this is a regional approach, this intervention, but we need strong local communities. We need a strategic approach, and we need, of course, the digital approach, which is an important part of Smart Villages. So we have included that one. Our aim is, as we are the non-agriculture part with the businesses and the non-profit organizations, also to build strong alliances, of course, between the sectors. Bringing different worlds together is very important, breaking up silos, because we can see, to speak quite frankly, we see a lot of blind spots in different words, not to acknowledge our word, so to say. So it's a lot of improvement. We'd like to see links with the R&D word and the RDF word. So, and especially we can do it at national level, but more important also at regional level. What is very important for us is that we have actors from the economic sphere in our projects which help to raise the power of implementation, as I would like to call it. And we can see new potentials for the rural economy and the creation of value at regional and local level. So we have 2 directions within this intervention. So to funding, to have 2 funding activities. So the first one is called rural innovation networks. You can call it also hubs or incubators / accelerators. So the DNA of these rural innovation networks is they are regionally anchored. Some are very near to LAX, so to the leader management. Some are near to clusters. Some are near to R&D activities. But it's very important to have them regionally anchored. And it should bring actors together in novel combinations with new actors, combination of actors that would be, of course, also surprising. So you would never have thought of such a combination. And they should support, they should provide qualitative support for the projects. So we have the second activity then, and they are more likely to the operational groups in the EP Agri. We call them rural innovation partnerships. So they should come out of the incubator, and they really work on specific regional challenges with the regional cooperation. So the actors could come from the region, but also with actors I will show you then with, for example, research partners from cities. So we have so far approved 12 projects, 12 hubs, and 8 partnerships. Okay, so what's our approach? The intervention works like a blank canvas, which provides a perfect framework to address different local and regional needs to innovate and transform, which is very, very important because we put the starting process and also the definition of innovation to the region. So the starting point has to be a local or regional challenge, which is at stake. So which is burning, which is really forcing them to change something. We have this first phase of funding, 25,000 euro for a so-called starting process. We have 25 starting process in the pipeline. So the idea is to really take your time to formulate the need. So what is at stake? What would you like to, what is not working anymore? What would you like to transform? So for this, you have 1 year time, and then you can enter the second phase. And then you would have these amounts like 283 euros for 3 years for the hub, and for the partnerships you have 350,000 euro also for 3 years. Yeah, so the DNA of these rural innovation systems for the networks, the hubs, and the projects, we aim to come from single projects to regional innovation ecosystem approach, which means, and this is very important to us, capacities to build capacities to build capacities. So this is really our mantra, and we try to repeat that. So really look what you have already, what you can transform, what you can renew, but not to build really new structures, but really try to transform the ones you have already in the regions. We have a place-based and bottom-up approach. Different actors, I already said it, intend to solve really concrete issues by working together. We would like to enforce this multi-actor approach. So we have several conditions in place you have to hit to get the funding. You have to have a cooperation along value chains beyond different sectors and industries, link agriculture, non-agriculture to get better ratings. Grassroots are highly wanted, non-profit organizations, social entrepreneurs to build this regional cooperation. And we have kind of a transformative twist as an integral part of the intervention. So now very shortly 2 examples. So this is the example for a network or hub or incubator. We have the Lini Rural Innovation Lab, a cooperation of 3 leader regions in Upper Austria in the Innviertel. They try to build a strong network to have kind of a laboratory for bio and circular economy initiatives within the regions. So the target groups, they try to connect companies, research institutions, and the citizens. The outcome should focus on new concepts and technology for these areas to enhance the rural economy. So they are in Upper Austria, and they have with the Vienna University of Technology a very strong cooperation partner in the network. So they would like to contribute, that's the vision, of course, to a more sustainable green economy. And they would like to deal with food, soil protection, European Bauhaus, natural resources, including raw materials. So they make a lot of analysis, what they have as a basis in the region already. So they do a lot of modeling analysis, which raw materials, things from farmers they don't need anymore, what they can use in their bio and circular economy approach. And they already started to work, I think, 3 months ago. So it's really new, but this is the approach so far. And the second would be then a really more concrete one. It's called Cooperative Multifunctional Community Center, which means we have different functions under one roof. So, for example, they get now the 350,000 euros to improve living conditions within their region. What is the aim? I jump to the activities. They use the money to do analysis, to draw up concepts, because they need operating concepts to make this community center work. They need financial plannings. They need a very good business plan, and what we recommended to them, as this center will be a local one or located in one community, that they develop a regional value chain or have an analysis of the regional value chains, so to make it a little bit broader. Okay, and what are our challenges? In the first phase of funding, this 25,000 euros, you have the possibility to fail. So if you don't conclude it, if you don't manage to write your action plan, you get the funding, but you have to report your learning experiences. So this is quite new, and we managed to put it in our regulations. So this is working. So they don't have they have the possibility to fail. Let's put it like that. The second challenge is how to raise the innovation level, as we have a very broad definition of innovation. The risk assessment is getting more and more important, so we'll have some work on this innovation level of projects. Yeah, and what is very important in addition to the funding is the community building. So we have a lot of initiatives starting in June, for example, to strengthen the DNA of the hubs, to be really like an accelerator also for businesses and for nonprofit organizations. Yeah, the intervention is already very popular, so we have a high rate of applications, and the actors are very committed and really want to make a difference. And that's our bliss in the ministry to really continue working on this one. We have 2 publications in German. They are for regional innovators, or also for intermediary organizations, to see what's our definition of rural innovation. And yeah, thank you very much for your attention and interest.
Thank you very much, Rita. Very inspiring presentation. I take 2 important messages. Innovation is about breaking silos, not only in terms of actors, for instance, connecting research with local actors, and we have seen multi-actor approaches to support innovation. And probably this would be a discussion we can take forward in the different breakouts, how we can bring knowledge centers and innovation centers closer to the reality of local communities, but as well among administrations.
Yeah.
You mentioned that this is a relevant issue when thinking about rural in the broad sense, rural innovation, and the many topics that should be addressed, and the importance of working with different administrations. Maria Martos also mentioned the same thing, that they try to use their their model to break the silos between the different ministries supporting as well rural development. Thank you very much. I think there are some
Welcome.
questions in the chat. In case you want to answer them, that would be fantastic. And now I'd like to welcome Mary Walsh from, sorry if I'm not saying it correct, Pallets.
Yes, correct.
You can correct me if you're not. She's going to introduce us an initiative supported by the Irish government to create an ecosystem to foster innovative female entrepreneurship in rural Ireland. So, Mary, I think I'm going to ask my colleague Sophie to share the slides, if I'm correct.
Thank you, Enrique. Thank you.
Okay, so let's see, Sophie, if you can put the slides up. Okay, now the floor is yours, Mary.
Great, thank you. Thank you, Enrique, for inviting me to speak on this webinar this morning. Thank you. Yes, the Acorns program, we can move to the next slide. It's a program designed by Fitzsimons Consulting and developed together with the Department of Agriculture, Food and Marine to support and develop female entrepreneurs based in rural Ireland. How the Acorn participants who qualifies, so it's a female entrepreneur living in rural Ireland, based outside of the municipal boundaries of Dublin, Cork, Galway, Limerick and Waterford. And she must have set up a business that she owns or part owns, and is actively planning a new venture and growing a concrete business, and has a very clear idea of what she wants to do. There's no restriction on any sector. Many of the participants come from food, drinks, software development, skincare products, manufacturing jewelry, healthcare products, financial services. So they can come from any sector. But she must have made a decision that she's going to become an employer within 3 years. We very much emphasise to the participants at the beginning of the programme, this is not a hobby, or if it's a hobby, this programme is not for you. This is a programme to develop, help you develop and grow to scale your business, but also to be able to take a holiday and a break. So you must be very firm about becoming an employer to participate in the program. Thank you. The program, it was piloted in 2014, originally with the Department of Agriculture, and it's been a huge success with the 10th cycle just completed. So for every year, there are 3 and more participants applying for each place available. So well oversubscribed. And it's based on peer support and on the philosophy of collaboration, confidentiality. It's based on a roundtable meeting where ideas are shared, and there is a real confidence there that now you have this board of 8 where you were that solo entrepreneur. Now you have 7 other people around the board with your lead entrepreneur to help support you. And it's very much around focusing on achieving goals, setting milestones, checking in on them after each meeting. And over 550 participants have been supported through the cycle over the 10 years. Thank you. The next slide, thank you. So the cycle and how it works. It works on a structured 6-month program, and that incorporates 2 residential elements. And the program is free to the participants, thanks to the Department of Agriculture, Food and Marine, who fund all of the costs for the participants. So that takes out that real stress for that solo entrepreneur who's starting a business. How can I afford it? The Department of Agriculture cover all of their costs. And it's focused on the roundtables of peers, facilitated then by the lead entrepreneurs. And there's approximately 8 at the table. The lead entrepreneurs are central to the selection of the participants and very much look at bringing in a mix of skills to the table, not having competitors at the table, but a mix of skills. Maybe some might have digital marketing skills, other might have finance or law. So to bring that real healthy ecosystem to the table, that now the participants have a board. Often we say, you know, the board that they cannot afford when you're starting a business. Now they actually have a board of 7 other participants around the table with them. And there's feedback constantly after every meeting, checking in on the goals, checking in on the milestones, and making each participant accountable. The lead entrepreneurs, again, they are central to this, and all of the lead entrepreneurs have successfully started and grown businesses in rural Ireland, and cumulatively would be employing over 1,000 people in Ireland. So they are the people that have been through the starting, growing, scaling the business, and are very happy to share their learnings with the young entrepreneurs. Thank you. The outcomes have been very positive over the 10 cycles, and on average, each participant reports 50% more sales generated after participating on the programme. 25% more people are employed. There are a number of new exporters. So starting from that business, sometimes at their table in their home, but growing and scaling and to getting that premises and becoming that exporter. And there is a real reduction in psychological isolation, because being an entrepreneur sometimes can be a lonely place, but now they have this firm community who they can engage with, very like-minded, oftentimes experiencing the same similar issues, and they can share and come up with solutions themselves on how to find the solution to the issues that may arise. And there's a real increase in confidence and motivation when these entrepreneurs come together. Now there's a strong network has been created with over 300 past participants actively still engaging in the Acorns community. Thank you. So outcomes from the Acorns 10 programme that just finished in April this year, participants recorded an increase of 1.5 million over the 6 months, and that brought it up to 4.3 cumulatively for the 50 participants participating in the programme. There was 8 new exporters over the cycle. There are 15 more people employed by the participants at the end of that cycle. And 96% reported that they had made a decision for their business, and 100% felt nearer to achieving those ambitions. 100% recommended participating in Acorns to other people. Thank you. All participants have successfully completed a cycle, are then invited to join the Acorns community. So it's not that they're a participant on a programme for 6 months and that they move away with no support. They're invited to join the Acorns community, and that's at no cost to them. But again, I have to put in there, thanks to the Department of Agriculture, they are funding the continuing participation of the past participants. And if they're trading, they're offered an opportunity to have their profile professionally written and to be involved in PR campaigns throughout the years. Invitations are extended to these participants to attend and participate in further development roundtables, where a number of participants might want some help on AI, on digital marketing, on finance, on some topic that they feel they need more support on. And they're invited to the annual community also. And those then that want to further to grow their business, they're invited to participate on an Acorns Plus programme, which again is funded by the Department of Agriculture. Thank you. The Acorns programme, it's been recognised at a European and national level, and in 2018 was named runner-up in European Promotion Enterprise Awards, investing in entrepreneurial skills. And in January 25, the director, Paula Fitzsimons from Fitzsimons Consulting, who designed the programme, and together working with the Department of Agriculture on developing the programme, continuing to develop it, Paul Fitzsimons was invited by the Ambassador of Ireland to the Netherlands and Derwin to speak in The Hague as part of their St. Bridget's Day programme there. Acorns has been included as a good practice on the Interreg Policy Learning platform, and Paula Fitzsimons of Fitzsimons Consulting has served as a member of the CAP Consultative Committee, having been invited by the Assistant Secretary of the Department of Agriculture, Food and Marine. Thank you. And again, to further emphasise, this programme would not exist. It would not continue to provide support to the past participants without the very generous support of the Department of Agriculture, Food and Marine. They have seen the rewards, they have seen the extraordinary growth, development and success of the programme over the past 10 years, and they're very willing and I'm very happy to continue to develop this wonderful programme that's supporting female entrepreneurs all over rural Ireland. And you can find out more. We have a video, and I do believe, Enrique, you are going to put up the contact for that afterwards, if anybody would like to look at that video later.
Thank you very much, Mary. Indeed, it's a fantastic video, and that actually gives me a good entry for the break. I think in your example, Mary, you show how important it is to connect people, and when connecting them among each other and connecting them as well with those who have knowledge on certain aspects, there is a lot that can be achieved, and the results that you have shown us are, I have to say, remarkable.